All right, so back for our second talk on assessments. Um, First one we covered basically the battery of assessments, why you want to assess and whatnot. So for this second video, I want to go into one of the assessments that I didn't speak about because I think it's incredibly important to in just measuring the overall workload that you're putting in week after week, and that's through heart rate recovery by examining that number. And your heart rate recovery for me is I'm looking at how long does it take to get from my peak heart rate that I hit on a rep of interval work and get back down to 130 beats per minute. Because I think 130 beats per minute is a pretty workable heart rate range. Um, it's not lactic, but it's also not at a snail's pace. So you're working, but I mean you're not hurting. So let's give you an example. Let's say you're doing hill sprints, and you set your parameters as, I want to see how many hill sprints I can get in 1 hour or in 45 minutes. Let's just say 1 hour. So let's say week one, you're able to get in 17 reps of hill sprints during that 1 hour period. So you can look at that amount of stimulus that you have right there. And also the fact that there might have been some reps where it's 2.5 minutes between them just to be able to get back down to 130 beats per minute. But let's say now we're on week 2 and we're up to 22 reps. Week 3 we're up to 27, and week 4 of our hill sprint training we're up to 35. So we can tell ourselves that our heart rate recovery must have improved because now we're able to get in that much more work. We've almost doubled our work from week 1 to week 4, going from 17 to 35. So that's something that is a great marker that you can use because you're not going to go out and do a 12-minute run test week after week. We got too much stuff to do anyway. Most people have jobs, kids, whatnot. So being able to evaluate your heart rate recovery week after week is incredibly important, just because it's an easy measure to get to. And also, I mean, we talked about strength and evaluating strength in the past video, but strength is great if you're a power lifter, if you're a football player, heck, if you're a fighter, man, it's an equalizer. But it's not everything. So conditioning is always the foundation of what you're doing. It allows you to continually exploit that strength that you're developing in the weight room, rep after rep. And I think that's the thing that gets lost in the strength conditioning field is, it's the idea of sports performance training is probably a better model to look at because it's all encompassing. It's not, well, I'm just going to get as strong as I possibly can and we're just going to condition 3 weeks out and we're going to be ready to go. Well, it doesn't work like that. It needs to be a synergy. It needs to work together. And I hope that you all will start looking at your heart rate recovery, even if you're only doing mat work. Just evaluate how much time does it take me to get back down to 130 beats per minute in between rounds. Maybe you never make it, or maybe you notice that after 6 or 7 weeks of training, you're down to like 125 after a minute rest between rounds. So things are definitely going right and you're moving in the right direction. So look at heart rate recovery, and in some coming videos I'll talk more about the aerobic system, why I think it's probably the most overlooked, but that probably is hands down the most important system of all that you can train. All right, have a great day.